This air defense system has shot down thousands of missiles, and the percentage of interceptions exceeds 90. Its reaction time is only a few seconds, and it took 5 years and more than $3 billion to develop. But the cost of the shot is only $66,000, which is several times cheaper than its counterparts. These weapons protect the territory of the United States, although they had to be purchased on an emergency basis due to the current threat. And there was simply no time to develop own weapons. The United States bought this system not for beauty, but to protect against the newest Chinese secret missile. What kind of system is it, and what kind of Chinese missile is the United States so afraid of? The theory of modern warfare is increasingly moving away from the concept of infantry and the use of manpower. High-tech missiles are coming to the fore, and to counter them, even more technologically advanced air defense is needed. This missile for China was the secret YJ-21. This is an anti-ship hypersonic missile with impressive characteristics. With an incredible speed of Mach 10, the maneuverability of state-of-the-art interceptors, and the latest guidance system, analogous to the Russian Zircon, it poses a serious threat. Perhaps you've noticed from the previous videos and already know why China is focusing on anti-ship missiles? Leave your opinion in the comments. And that's because China predicts that a future global conflict could take place in the Pacific region with the use of US aircraft carrier groups. Only a missile can destroy an aircraft carrier, and only an air defense system can shoot down a missile. The picture has come together, but can the Iron Dome stop the Chinese YJ-21 missile? Given the declared characteristics, I have my doubts. Then why does the US need the Iron Dome? Let's take it one step at a time. The first combat duty of this system took place 15 years ago, and since then its capabilities have only increased. When the United States purchased the Iron Dome, several of its main characteristics were important to it. First, this system is mobile and can be deployed anywhere in a short time. Mobility in expeditionary warfare on ships and islands is perhaps the main security factor. Secondly, the Iron Dome uses an automated battle management system that allows for a quick and accurate response to threats without significant human intervention. The reaction time from missile detection to interception is several seconds, which is critical to protect against unexpected attacks. We saw this during the recent attacks on Israel. Automation and speed of decision-making are very important for the US military, especially when a hypersonic missile is flying in your direction. In addition, other characteristics are worth mentioning. The system is capable of simultaneously tracking and destroying several enemy missiles flying from different directions. It allows to defend the territory effectively during massive missile attacks. The Iron Dome also uses technology that allows predicting missile trajectories and choosing the optimal moment to intercept them, which minimizes risks to civilian facilities. All these features are not just numbers on paper, but have been tested in combat.
Its goal is to, as much as possible, intercept rockets.
The first use in combat conditions took place in 2011, during the repulsion of a missile attack from Gaza. During this time, the number of enemies increased. Missiles changed, but the developers of the Iron Dome did not stop progressing. Some of the most massive attacks in 2021 and 2023 were supposed to destroy Israel. However, air defense shot down 430 and 580 missiles correspondingly. Hardly any other system can boast of such results.
I would say around 90% of the interceptions we wanted to make, we make, but still there's too many rockets raining down here.
However, what we know about the secret YJ-21 is enough to impress even experienced Iron Dome operators. A photo of a Xi'an H-6N jet bomber with an air-to-air anti-ship missile was posted on Chinese social media. Usually, such images are not published for nothing. Under the guise of information leakage, China is sending a message. We have a new super missile. Try and guess what it is. According to the information available to us, the missile does have outstanding technical characteristics and poses a significant threat to the naval forces of potential opponents. The YJ-21 uses advanced hypersonic glider technology, which allows it to maneuver at high speeds, making it difficult for modern missile defense systems to intercept. The YJ-21 is specially designed to destroy large ships, such as aircraft carriers, and is being actively integrated into the arsenal of the Chinese Navy, which creates additional threats to Taiwan, the Philippines, and even Japan. The Chinese missile, also known as the Eagle Strike 21, has a range of 600 to 900 miles and can reach speeds of up to Mach 10. This is 7,600 miles per hour. The YJ-21 is designed to be launched from Type 055 destroyers, making these ships one of the most powerful in the world. The missile can also be used on coastal missile systems, aircraft, and submarines. It has satellite guidance and is an analog of their Russian Zircon missile, which has proven to be difficult to intercept. In addition, there are rumors of possible strikes against land targets, as Zircon does against civilian targets in Ukraine. The development of the YJ-21 can significantly change the balance of power in the Pacific region, forcing potential adversaries to reconsider their military strategies and air defense measures, which is what the United States is doing. In general, China decided to take a slightly different approach than the United States. Instead of creating super advanced fighters, unmanned systems, or laser weapons, China develops missiles for all occasions. This is due to the fact that the military-industrial sector is much more technologically backward, and there are problems with private initiative producers. Can their missile overcome the Iron Dome? In military conflicts, theoretical predictions often do not coincide with practice at all. If we look carefully at the technical characteristics of the Chinese missile and the Iron Dome, it becomes obvious that the Chinese latest missile is capable of defeating the Israeli-American air defense system. The Iron Dome was developed to combat slower and less maneuverable threats such as short-range missiles and artillery shells. The YJ-21 moves at supersonic speeds and is capable of changing its trajectory, which makes it much more difficult to intercept. The effectiveness of the Iron Dome depends on several factors, including radar location, system response, and interceptor missile capabilities. To combat hypersonic missiles, more powerful radars and faster interceptors with the ability to respond to a missile maneuvering at supersonic speeds are needed. In addition, we don't have any data on a combat encounter or test of the Iron Dome against hypersonic weapons. This may suggest the obvious superiority of the Chinese missile. However, all that glitters is not gold. Developers from Asia often like to exaggerate the capabilities of their weapons in order to please the party elite. This can be seen in airplanes, aircraft carriers, and of course missiles. Another important factor in this confrontation is the successful use of the Iron Dome, which has been proven over the years. Since the US is buying the technology itself and actively modernizing it, I think we'll see the latest American lasers in this system soon, which are capable of stopping even a hypersonic missile at the speed of light. Therefore, it's too early to make any conclusions based on theories. The United States, as a pragmatic country, invests in armaments for a reason, and I would definitely not underestimate the new modernized Iron Dome of the US Navy. Thus, the eternal confrontation between missiles and air defense systems will continue and gain new momentum in the coming years. The most important conclusion we can draw today is that both superpowers are preparing at the highest level for a direct armed conflict in the Pacific region. The missile threat is what really scares both the military and civilians, and for good reason. There's hardly anything that can be opposed to huge projectiles flying at a speed of over 1,800 miles per hour with more than 60 explosive elements inside. Just one such impact can wipe out an area of 0.4 square miles. It would seem that there's no protection against this, but laser defense systems are ready to protect us from air threats. These high-tech machines of the future are capable of destroying all the missiles fired by the enemy with a 300-kilowatt laser in a matter of seconds. They're the future of air defense. But wait, this future is already here. People have learned how to make lasers even from gas, and the power of such guns allows them to shoot down a dozen targets at a distance of 6 miles at once. If the laser used to be just a toy, now the deadly beam is capable of heating the target up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, turning the metal surface into plasma. The leading countries have already created dozens of types of laser weapons, and every day they continue to improve and modernize them. Is this weapon a worthy response to the aggression of the enemy? Can a laser destroy advanced missiles and drones?
Drones can be very precise, very accurate. They can hit the target if you have the right information about that target.
Laser weapons are an incredibly important technology that changes the rules of warfare. Laser systems are capable of destroying targets at a great distance, doing it instantly. Moreover, many systems can destroy numerous targets at once, so you can't beat them in quantity. You must admit that this greatly affects the tactics of war. Previously, it was enough for the enemy to launch as many drones and missiles as possible at one point so that the old air defense system just didn't have time to destroy everything at once. But in truth, not all types of laser weapons are equally effective against the same targets. Let's analyze all the currently known lasers, and you'll find out what they're capable of. It's important to understand that each type of laser has its own unique characteristics and applications that make them indispensable in certain fields of science, technology, and medicine. The laser you use to play with your cat also uses a specific technology. For example, did you know that your grandmother's ruby can be turned into a weapon? Ruby crystals are used for solid-state lasers, and the power of such a thing is enough to blind an enemy and turn off electronics. But there are other options, such as semiconductor lasers. I bet you have one at home. If I win the argument, you'll subscribe to me and like me, okay? So pick up the TV remote control. Do you see a red light at the bottom? Congratulations, you've found a semiconductor laser. And if you don't have a remote control, the tiny hole on the top of your phone is also a laser. And finally, gas lasers. Hold on, what? Is gas used to make a powerful beam that burns through steel? Yes, technically this is true. I'm not going to explain the technology because it's boring, but remember, this type of laser is used in the most powerful weapons.
Which we can just fire using a laser weapon and have on our platforms is potentially going to be much cheaper.
Nevertheless, laser weapons, despite their advantages, have several significant disadvantages that limit their use. Lasers require enormous energy consumption to generate a powerful beam. Currently, there are no compact and efficient energy sources capable of providing long-term operation of laser weapons. The United States has made an attempt to fix this by creating a miniature system that can be recharged, but its power leaves much to be desired. The high power of lasers also generates a significant amount of heat. Cooling of such systems requires complex and massive cooling systems, which makes the weapon bulky and difficult to operate. But this is being actively worked on. Moreover, the energy of the laser beam decreases with distance due to scattering and absorption in the atmosphere. Dust, smoke, rain, and other atmospheric conditions can significantly reduce the effectiveness of laser weapons. You can see for yourself that the record range of a laser does not exceed 6 miles, which is a pity.
The range is limited. It's more limited than the range of interceptor weapons.
It's also important that laser weapons need to hold the beam on one point for some time to hit the target. This can be challenging when shooting at fast-moving targets or in real-world combat where the target can maneuver quickly. The laser beam can even be deflected or scattered by mirror or reflective surfaces, which can be used by the enemy. No one's stopping you from making a missile covered with a mirror surface. Let's not forget that laser systems are very difficult to manufacture and maintain. They require high-precision components and sophisticated optical systems, which makes the cost of their production enormous. And perhaps the last and most important problem that no one talks about is that laser systems can create electromagnetic interference that affects the operation of other electronic systems, which can be critical in combat conditions.
The disadvantage. One is a short range, the other is the sensitivity to weather, and the third is the low kill rate.
Although lasers are an incredibly cool solution, they're still far from perfect. However, all the leading countries are working on improving them, so laser weapons are indeed the future. And perhaps this future is much closer than we think. Just look at the latest developments. For example, the American defense giant Lockheed Martin has completed the development of its 300-kilowatt air-to-ground missile system. Such a powerful laser will be able to protect important objects from artillery, mines, or drones, and one shot costs only $40. But Britain went even further and created the most versatile and impressive laser gun in history. You've probably already heard about the Dragonfire. At least in my videos, I've talked about it, but before that, it was just a small prototype that's finally been built.
The Dragonfire's laser-directed energy weapon demonstrator.
The Dragonfire is capable of shooting down enemy drones and missiles worth millions of dollars, and the price of its shot is estimated at $1. With this system, you can even conduct a war of attrition, because the money the enemy spends on missile production will sooner or later run out. According to British Defense Secretary Grant Shapps, delays in the introduction of new weapons technologies are the biggest waste of defense money. What I want to do is speed up the development process, which usually takes about 10 years. And I want to finish our laser faster and deploy it on ships and on land, he said, talking about the speed of the Dragonfire development. The weapon operates by focusing 37 channels of 1.5 kilowatt laser beams arranged in a hexagonal array, combining them with mirrors to consolidate and amplify power. The output's the same 300 kilowatts as that of the American counterpart, but the cost of use is lower and the effective range is higher, up to 6 miles. The weapon's invisible and silent, as the wavelength of light is invisible to the human eye and is close to the infrared spectrum of light. During the test, the weapon was able to destroy drones and detonate mortars in less than 5 seconds. The Dragonfire instantly turns the metal surface into a 5,000 degree Fahrenheit plasma and can burn through a shell or aircraft fuselage in seconds.
At the leading edge, not just of technology, but in demonstrating the end-to-end capability and inform the UK's future procurement.
Although the system was designed to destroy drones, you must admit that the system is powerful enough to neutralize fast-moving projectiles such as ballistic missiles or even try to destroy a fighter jet. The Dragonfire was first tested at the Hebrides range in early 2024, where it was found that the laser could hit a coin from a distance of 0.6 miles. This briefly indicates its incredible accuracy. Will any drone or missile be able to circumvent such power? I doubt it very much. That's it for our laser adventures. What do you think about this? Will lasers be able to become a new point of support against missile aggression? Or will they remain somewhere behind the air defense systems we're used to? Or maybe you've come up with a new application for laser weapons. Write about it in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave your royal like. I really appreciate it. With that, let me say goodbye and wish you a great day.